I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Anthony.
And you're listening to Graham's Porch Podcast. Our podcast will cover various topics, ranging from celebrity news, movies, music, family, and anything in between. No topic is off limits.
So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and join us on the porch.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 8, part 2. It's your boy, Anthony.
And your girl, Brooklyn. Oh, man.
Dang it. And we are here today with Alexis again.
My pleasure to be back.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Here we are.
How's the week been?
Nah.
It was a rough week in our house.
Yeah, it was.
I think we were all pushed to our limits this week.
Felt that.
Our kids teamed up on us.
Yeah. We almost broke up and
No, we did not. Don't even try that. Did not even.
We almost got a divorce and everything. I felt that.
We did. It got ugly.
Yeah.
Not in like a bad way, but like it was just a rough week all the way around.
Yeah, the kids this week, oh my god, bro, like
they were in sync with each other. They just teamed up against us.
They're like, you want to piss mom and dad off this week?
No, they were like,
Yeah.
do you want to break down mom and dad this week?
Like, we both were in tears, just like, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Yeah, it was.
That's why you didn't text me back all week. Pretty much.
For real. I didn't really talk to anybody.
We
this
barely
week.
spoke to each other. That's how rough it was this week. And I think, what was it, today or yesterday? Yesterday, we finally just kind of broke down and both were like, all right, let's put everything out on the line and just talk about what needs to be talked about, work on what needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
And instantly, it felt so much better that we got, because I think we were both so stressed all week that we just built up this aggression towards each other, where we were being spiteful with each other.
Yeah.
But
we're keeping it real over here.
Yeah.
It's
ain't
real
faking
life
the
shit
funk.
because there's
Yeah.
plenty of people on social media that don't show you the ugly side of their
Relationships.
Exactly. I'll admit that we're not
Yeah.
perfect, but we take the things that are rough for us and we turn them around and let them make us stronger. Like, okay, now we know that this is the way you react and we know this is the way I react, so let's meet in the middle and help each other not react.
See, that's healthy. Because I feel like a lot of, like, older couples, like, can't even do that. They're just like, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this week we both kind of broke down and I was like, I can't expect you to know what I want without speaking it up, and you can't expect me to know what you want without saying it.
Yeah.
And so we both were like, just man up and say what you need to say, and if it hurts my feelings, I'll get over it.
Yeah.
Get that shit off your chesticles and let's go.
All it's going to do by holding it in is just going to make shit way more intense, and you'll get angry, I'll get angry. Where is that going to get you? It's just going to make a toxic household and toxic parents.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, it's good that you, like, find that middle ground at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I mean, like, people argue, not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect anything.
Yeah.
But at least you guys are, like...
Owning up to it.
Yeah, mature enough to be like, all right, I know I pissed you off. I know you pissed me off, so let's just...
Yeah, like, I
recognize
know we're stressed and
correct it and move on.
Yeah, I just feel like this week was like that. Like, for me on Tuesday, bro, I told my best friend Tom, I'm like, bro, is today, like, everyone just be a dick day? Like, I got into it with the girl on the street, like, driving. She was, like, pulled up behind me and my dad. We were going to breakfast on Tuesday because, like, Tuesday's our errand day, pretty much. So we go do laundry, go do grocery shopping. And then we're like, I don't feel like cooking breakfast. Let's just go to, like, one of our favorite restaurants. So we're, like, driving in.
Oh, where the fuck did you go?
We went to Max's. Shout out to Max's. But we're, like, driving and, like, on that street that we have to go down, they had just, like, redid it, like, the week before we went there for breakfast, and they were, like, they had the whole street tore up, but then they, like, fixed it right away. And I'm like, what company did this? Because all Colorado needs these people.
Yeah.
But
actually get shit
yeah,
done.
I was like, in a week, you had the whole street repaved and everything. And the lines, like, just like the divider lines were painted, but like not like a left or a right turn or anything like that. So like, it's a two-way street pretty much. Like, you either turn left or you just keep going straight. And I don't know what this lady thought, like my dad like cut her off, but she was like on our ass like for a while. And we get in front of a school and she's really fucking honking, and dad's like, you know, looking at the mirror like, what? And then she's like on the horn on him. And of course, like when people do that with like road rage, like they puss out at the last minute, like, oh, I'm gonna turn, and that's what she did. But as she's turning, she's like flipping you off, like me and dad off. So like we've said in past episodes, like we have to be cookie cutter around our dad, like we can't cuss or nothing. But
it's not that we can't, it's just like,
and that's why he disowned me.
Yeah. He still loves you, but
I think there for a minute he was mad.
Probably, I don't know, he's weird like that. But she's like going to turn after like freaking just sitting on the horn for like 5 minutes behind us. She's turning and she's like flipping us off. So I'm like, sorry, Dad. And I turn around and I'm flipping her off. And I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm not saying it out loud, but I'm like mouthing it like, fuck you, bitch. And I was like, sorry, Dad. I had to flip her off because she flipped you off first. And I don't play about my parents.
Yeah.
And then Dad's on a cell phone spree.
Dude.
He just got a new phone today.
Oh my god.
After he literally just got...
Oh my god. Is he just sending them back?
Yeah, like buyer's remorse.
What was the second one he did?
So he started with the Razor, and then he got...
just some random freaking like Motorola phone. And then today he was like looking at the new Google Pixel that just came out. And he just ordered that one.
Our parents are so much alike, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you just bought like $80 worth of cases and stuff for these phones. But anyway, like Tuesday, we had to go send his other phone back to the post office. So there's like no freaking parking in the parking lot for the post office because they're doing like fucking construction on that main road. So all the construction workers are parked there.
In Colorado.
Dude, yes. I'm like,
today when we were trying to go to the tattoo shop, right? And we were driving, and all you saw was red brake lights, and you saw construction trucks and construction lights. I was all, take a turn, we're going home. Yeah, it's not meant to be. I was like, we're not sitting in this.
It's like, why would you not do this shit like at the beginning of the summer? Like we're about to be, we're like probably just like maybe 2-3 weeks.
We might get a blizzard. We might have a snowstorm. The 16th is their guess.
See, like 2-3 weeks.
Dude, it always snows here before fucking Halloween.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah.
It's very rare.
I predict we get an October blizzard this year.
Yeah, no.
We haven't had one in so long.
Dude, it's already getting fucking cold as shit.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, today I froze my little fucking ass.
I completely took this conversation on a different turn. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So like, there's no parking in the parking lot. So I'm like, oh, I'll just run the package in or whatever and just drop it off right here in front of the door. So Dad's like, all right. So he pulls off like in front of the building, and then there's like this nerdy dude that's like walking into the post office in front of me, and he like looks at Dad and he's like shaking his head like if that just fucking ruined his whole day. That Dad parked right there. And he didn't think I heard him, but he's like under his breath like, that's not a fucking parking spot, you fucking idiot. And like walks into the post office. And usually I don't say anything because, like I say, I don't like confrontation. And just with today's day and age, like, you don't know.
You can't say shit to nobody.
Yeah, for real. So, but, like, I say, like, you don't fuck around with my parents. I don't care who you are. Like, I don't.
Period.
Deal with disrespect against my parents. And even though Dad didn't hear, he, like, you know, said that towards him. So I was like, why don't you just mind your fucking business? And he just, like, looked back at me, and his eyes were so freaking big and his face was red, like he was a bald guy. And
shit.
He's like, oh, and just like walked into like the main part of the thing, and I was just like, ugh. And Dad's all, what? And I was like, oh, I just told that guy, like, why don't you just mind your business?
It seems
and
like
I was literally out of the car for like 30 seconds tops, like, but that dude just acted like it ruined his whole day that Dad parked right there.
It's like, bro, it's not that serious.
Yeah, just mind your fucking business.
Like, if there was a fire,
like, of course,
I'm sure he would move.
Exactly. But I kid you not, I was like ran in there and was back in the car within 30 seconds.
Yeah. I feel like this whole week for everybody, bro. Even at work, it's been kind of fucking hot and heavy.
It's all
in there
testy.
Because I'm like, damn, is everybody on there like there? Is it their time of the month right now?
Yeah.
Like, are we all in sync? Fuck.
Something. It's the
like it got heated at work this week too. Not with me. If there's bullshit going on, I just sit there. I'm like, okay, I don't care, bro. Like, it's not that deep.
Just lay low.
You guys don't pay me enough to care about this shit.
Yeah. I just like to sit back and watch. And I just like take in the info. I just sit back and listen and watch. And I'm just like, damn. And I just connect all the dots. And I'm like, oh, if only y'all knew.
Yeah.
Like, I know all the sides.
That's how I was.
But there was this one guy at work, like, the past 2-3 days, he just pissed me off. Like,
who?
This one of the carpet installers. He's like, I don't know, something about him, like his demeanor, like he just kind of does shit to be like a punk, you know? Like I know, and then like they know that I don't like fully speak fluent Spanish, but I could tell when they're talking shit.
Oh, they make it obvious when they're talking shit about you because they look right at you.
Yeah, I'm like.
Side note,
I'm right here.
My customers will be talking shit, and I'll just jump in Spanish,
and
then they're like,
you know it for the most part, but me,
like,
I'm like,
oh, shit.
No, yeah, and they'll look at me and they're like, oh, see well, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I know some Espanol.
Yep, I heard all of that.
Yeah.
But this guy, he comes in like right before like we're trying to clean up, get ready to go home.
I think I know who you're talking about.
All the time, and like today he came in. It was it was like maybe like 10 when he came in, but I just seen it and I still shook my hand. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, because it's either they come in like right before.
Like, he just irks you. He just gets under your skin.
It's just like seeing him, bro. I'm just like, fuck you, like. And I don't want to be that type of person. Like, I don't want to like
always be like.
I don't want to be
mad.
a negative like jerk, but like, it's just the way this guy is. Like, something about him, bro, it just makes me like hate my life. All right, I don't know about hate my life, but
for that second, I hate my
He
life.
can just put you in a funk for a minute.
Yeah, you could be in a good mood, and then you see him,
and then
like,
I catch myself too, like getting like that, and I'm like, bro, just chill out, load him up.
Yeah,
like, yeah, don't let him ruin your whole day.
But I feel like sometimes they do that.
And he's like, how's your morning or something like that. And usually he don't ask me shit, but he's like, how's your morning? And I'm like, it's all right. And he's like, you okay? I'm like, yep. And then like I catch myself like being a jerk, kind of like. I'm like, oh shit, like, all right, knock it off.
Yeah.
We'll just get it done. The quicker you get it done, the quicker he's out of here. And so.
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
Period.
About not.
Self-growth is important.
Not really hating him that much, but. It's hard when you're coming in 15 minutes before we're trying to leave, bro. Like.
Yeah, it's either coming in, like, right before the day ends or, like, right before you know that you're going to go to lunch.
And then it's for a house that goes next week.
Oh, yeah, I would have been like, you could come back next week.
But I think that's one of the hardest parts about working in any type of customer service industry is finding that line of, yes, this is my job. Yes, you're a customer, but at the same time, I'm not going to let you ruin my whole day.
Yeah.
At the same time, all you are is another customer. Like, that's all you are to me. And
I guess for me, like, I don't look at them like customers because they're like
They're like
an add-on.
Yeah,
they're like an add-on of our company, you know?
But still, at the same time, you see what I mean? Like, for me, it's customers. For you, it's just, you're just another installer.
Yeah.
You're just, if you get that one Karen installer, or that one, what is it, Kyle? Is that what the alternative is?
I think so.
You get that one installer, it's just like, why are you going to let that one person turn your whole day around? Yeah. But then you're going to get that one installer that can put you in a good mood, the one that can joke around with you.
The one that brings you $20
yeah,
on
gives
a
you
Friday.
$20 and like actually cares and is like checking in like, hey, how's your baby doing? How are you doing? You know what I mean? There's always you're going to have the good and you're going to have the bad, and you just have to take both like a grain of salt and just realize at the end of the day, this is my job. And when I'm done here, I'm going to go home, and why should I be in a bad mood because of my job?
Yeah.
And you just have to finding that line is hard, but once you find it, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
When I clock out, I'm leaving the shit here. When I
real,
clock
no,
in,
yeah.
I'll
Way
pick
of
it right
looking
back
at it.
up.
That's how I am.
I'm like, if I'm not on the clock, if I'm not getting paid, I should not be worrying.
Like my dad, when he was working there, bro, he'd come home and be like, "Oh man, like, I gotta worry about this tomorrow and this tomorrow." I'm like,
worry
dude,
about that when you punch in.
Wait for.
I tell him that all the
wait
time
until you
because
get
he
there, bro,
doesn't know
like-
how to leave. He doesn't know how to leave home at home and work at work.
Yeah.
He like brings work home too, and I'm just like, I don't even work with you, and I fucking hate that company. Like, ugh.
For real.
I'm just like, sir, when you clock out and you're on your way home, just be like, okay.
Or he's
When I get
texting
home,
me,
like woo-saw, and I get home and I'm
I
just
don't need to
good.
worry about anything else.
Yeah,
He-
they don't. Like I say, they don't pay me enough to sit there and fucking take your problems home with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't, what is it? You don't live to work, but you work to live.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, you shouldn't have to be worrying about work every aspect of the day. If you own a business,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
what you're
only
choosing.
time that I feel like,
Just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
you're
If a
choosing
business
to
owner,
make your
that's
business your life.
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you're nothing but an employee, I'm sorry, but I ain't gonna be worrying about you. I'm worried about you for the 8 hours that you are paying me. Other
Yep.
than that, I'm not saying I'm gonna go around bad mouthing my job, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here worrying about, oh no, what do I got going on tomorrow? When I clock in the morning, I will worry about what I got going on.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to get to that state of mind. Like,
Mhm.
when I was younger, it was kind of like work was everything. Like, I
Mhm.
would drop anything and everything to go to work and be at work. But, like,
Yeah.
now that I have kids and now that I'm older, I'm like, no, screw that. I go to work so that I can have money, and when I'm outside of work, I'm gonna spend my money and be happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot to get to that point, but once you're there, it's a lot smooth going.
Yeah.
I agree.
Damn, that was like the longest we've talked about our week.
For real.
Oopsies.
No, it's
a
liked
good
it.
thing.
Yeah, it was good.
Get it all
Usually
off your
we're
chest.
just like, oh, it was alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Anyway.
we're done. Then we're on to the next.
Because usually, like, it's just like the same, like I say, just same shit, different day, pretty
Yeah.
much.
There was something in the air this week because
Oh,
I
But
never
yeah.
knew what to expect when I woke up in the morning.
It's just been a fucking, like, just
roller
hostile
coaster.
energy out
Mhm.
everywhere. But there, yeah, it was just something in the air this week. I was just like, fuck, man. Everyone just have a beer and...
Nala sees that straw. She's gonna attack you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
was just
Nala
warning
does
you.
this every episode.
Yeah.
We could have a compilation
Yeah,
of...
she's known on here. Nala's already known on here. Everybody knows
She's our
her name.
mascot, I guess.
Aww.
So, the hot topic of the week is fucking Jada Pinkett Smith. Did you see this shit? I guess she's like releasing a book or a memoir, biography, whatever you want to call it. But like, you know, that whole thing with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah.
She was saying like he pretty much did it for no reason because they've been like single for the last like 6-7 years.
Yeah, she's like, he hasn't been my husband for a long time.
They got
blah, blah,
a
blah.
separation like 2016 or
And
something.
she said that
like
she was taken back by him saying, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Like,
Yeah.
she's
And
like,
everyone
'cause I'm
on
not
the
even
internet-
his wife. I'm like, bitch.
Everyone on the internet was saying that they're like, did Will know that you're not his wife?
For
like,
real, like,
Or that you were gonna come out and say that? Like, bro, I'm sorry, but she's made this man look so fucking stupid,
Yeah,
like,
like-
lately, like...
she's, I don't know. She just made him look like such like a tiny little,
Like a little man.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like he ruined his reputation for a bitch that couldn't give a fuck less about
Yeah,
him.
for real.
Seriously.
Like I love Will Smith, and I think what he did was maybe a little out of line, but at the same time, like, stand up for your woman.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody was making fun of me or something for that, like, I would hope that you would stand up for me in some way. Not
Alright, but look,
necessarily
listen
assault
to
somebody,
this.
but
But, alright, let's say we go to a comedy show, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're the type of people to pick people out the crowd and like, oh, you look like this. And then, you know?
Like,
You're at
that's
a
what you
comedy
kind of
show.
sign up for.
which
at that
100% yes, but she also had a medical reason for it. Not that she just straight up chose to be bald, right? Supposedly, right?
Hot take, hot take.
Hot take, yeah.
I think she chose to be bald.
But that's what I'm saying, like, supposedly, right? Like, that was why he got so defensive, is
Yeah.
because it's a medical reason.
Yeah, but still, it was like, it was a joke. People joke about, like,
But sometimes jokes are taken too far.
Yeah.
So I'm
Personally,
saying, like,
for me, I didn't see anything wrong with like the joke. Like G.I.
Yeah.
Jane, she's a badass bitch. That's a good movie.
Right.
But like, yeah,
I see
But
it from both
there's
sides.
like,
And
yeah,
that's what
there's
I'm
a good
saying
way
is
of
I'm
like sticking up for
definitely-
your girl, but then like he
Like,
could have just
taking
been
it
like,
a little too far.
yeah, he could have did it like
He
when,
could have just yelled at him and been like, "Yo, watch yourself."
yeah.
So
Or
that's
just
what I'm
wait till you
saying,
go
like-
to the freaking commercial and then be like, hey, bro, I didn't appreciate you saying that about my wife.
Yeah, like you didn't have to slap the dude on fucking
Right.
live TV.
But I also think that was exaggerated a little bit to be like, "All right, let's make this a big thing."
It could have been.
I don't know.
But like that's why I said, like, I definitely see both sides of it. Like, I see why he did it. Do I agree with it? No, I just said, like, I don't necessarily agree with it. But I also kind of respect Will Smith if he really was coming from a, like, I'm going to protect my wife type
a
of.
genuine place.
Yeah, a genuine place. And then afterwards he was like, it's kind of like a heat of the moment. Like you said, you won't talk in the heat of the moment. Because what if you say the wrong thing? He reacted in the heat of the moment. And did he fuck up? Yes. And he owned up to it and said, oh, I fucked up, guys. But I don't think it's right the way he ruined his name. He did some
ruined
damage.
his reputation
And she
for
For
didn't
her
give
to,
a fuck.
she didn't care. For her to
have
come
a
out and
little
say, we're not
intermingle
even
or
married.
whatever the fuck it was.
Entanglement.
Yeah, there you go.
Entanglement, yeah.
And the people are
Intermingle.
like, that wasn't even a fucking entanglement. If you guys were not together, you guys were separated or
Right.
whatever during that.
So why wouldn't, I'm sorry, but if I was being accused of being a cheater, that's when I would have came out and
Yeah,
been
and be
like,
like,
I'm not
no.
even married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
Like,
been separated.
Why are you gonna sit here and
Drag my name,
drag my name for being a cheater when I'm single?
Yeah.
That's when I would have came out and said it.
Like, all press isn't good press. Like, there's sometimes you gotta be like, hey, that's not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just made him look so stupid. This whole, like, thing with, like, her still, like,
Lola. Oh my god, she's so loud.
She scared me.
Did you hear her?
Yeah.
She was making biscuits.
Oh, fucking get in the kitchen then, man.
But, yeah, she's just made him look so dumb than just to be like, yeah, he hasn't been my husband,
Yeah.
but we ain't gonna get a divorce and all this
I
stuff.
feel like
that
that's just
whole
Hollywood
family's
for
kind
you, though.
of weird.
Yo, those kids?
Yeah. Hot take, but
The Smiths are just on some.
maybe that's why the oldest son is like, I don't want y'all to know nothing
There's
about
another
me.
one?
He has an older son, Trey.
Trey?
Yeah.
I've never
It's not
even seen
not
him.
with Jada.
I thought he only had Jaden.
Jaden and Willow.
I was gonna call her Pinka.
But no, he has an older son, Trey, from like a previous like marriage or a relationship or something.
Huh.
But yeah, that's probably why he just like stays away, because he don't want no one to know nothing about him. And then another one that I said, another hot topic of the week is like by the year 2034, people could be living on the moon. They're
How?
like sending up like some drones or like a fucking shuttle sometime next year, and I think in like November of next year.
Uh-huh.
And they're gonna like 3D print like shit from like,
I do
A
not
rover.
volunteer as tribute.
yeah, that sounds a little weird.
I would go live on the moon.
No, I'm good.
I
gonna
could
have
live
to
out
give it a
my
good
Xenon
40,
Girl of the
50
21st
years.
century dreams.
No, I think it's gonna be a submarine 2.0.
Yeah.
I need to
Oh,
see
yeah.
people live out there for a good 50 to 60 years before I'm going to
50
live.
to 60? Give
I'd
me
be
like
dead
one.
by then, but
Give
No.
me 1 year to see if they could really do it, and I'll
No,
go.
no, I need to know that they can survive, have kids, do the whole damn thing before I'm going to live there.
yeah, it's like, how do you even expect like to be able to do that? Like you gotta be able to grow food and water.
Have you never
and...
seen The Martian?
No,
Be real.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, no, there's no
It's
way in
pretty
hell.
good.
No thanks.
I think I would.
No
If,
thanks.
look, listen. If I were given different cards in life, if I was just like a single dude,
Oh
Didn't
yeah, but
care,
that's
like,
not the
about-
case.
my
Yeah.
family, and I had good money, like if I was in a whole different situation,
If they
I would
said
do it.
we'll
Yeah,
give you
hell
like
yeah.
I don't know.
But if my kids want to go, let's go. Shit.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, not
Yeah, it's
happening.
weird, but I'm just like 20, 30, 40. Yeah, people
Bro,
could
imagine
be...
though, you could be flying.
I'm good. I'm perfectly happy with walking. 2 feet on the ground, I'm satisfied.
They can't even fix the fucking roads. How do they think we're gonna be able
For
to
real.
live on the moon?
I'm all daily, they're texting me telling me how our phone tower's down.
Yeah.
You think they can make life in a whole different planet?
I
think
highly
all
doubt
things
it.
are possible.
I don't think.
I don't even
And-
think we've really been to the moon. I don't. Hot take.
Yeah.
Wait, so did you say Mars or the moon?
No, moon.
The moon.
Why do we want to ruin the moon? Why do we have to fuck with things? Why can't we just leave shit alone?
Yeah, go find somewhere else, man.
I don't get it. Why is what we have not enough?
Because people don't fucking respect.
People are never
Earth right
satisfied,
now.
no
Yeah,
matter
and people-
what.
And people don't know how to keep their things in their pants and keep fucking having kids. And then we're overpopulating. Look at us. We're contributors.
You just got 2 kids.
Yeah. We're not like these people that
You
are
ain't like the
"Oh, let's have
Duggars
10
with
kids."
fucking 19 kids and counting, okay?
Yeah, like,
My mom has a friend that has 10 kids.
Well, I mean,
Ooh.
my dad's one of 10.
yeah, he is.
But
Yeah, see, but that's what I don't know.
And I'm one out of 98 grandkids, so.
Yeah,
Literally.
my family consists of what did we count? Like 12 people?
Yeah.
jeez.
And I'm like, that's her whole family.
That's my whole family.
We're
right
probably
there.
on my mom's side, like, over 100.
Just Thanksgiving
Yes.
at your mom's was more people than my entire family.
And that wasn't even everyone.
Yeah, that wasn't.
That wasn't even the
Exactly.
extended family.
Exactly,
That was just
the
immediate.
immediate family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Us Mexicans,
That
we know how to do
overwhelms
it. We know how to do
But
it.
yeah,
you know
you
how to
don't
have
want no more
kids and
kids.
throw parties.
Oh, yeah, I don't want more kids.
I always, well, not always, but recently I've been saying, like, in a few years, I want a third. No, this week, I looked him dead in the eyes and I was like,
We're not
we
having
are
it."
definitely not having any more kids. Like, I'm done. I tap out. Like,
I don't blame
I'm like,
you.
I
if you
will
think
go get
about
a
it,
whole
though, our
hysterectomy
kids,
right
Our
now.
kids will be out of high school by the time I'm 40 years old.
I said, I was like, do you realize we're going to be in our 40s, right? And all our friends are going to be barely dropping their kids off to kindergarten. And we're going to be like, see ya, bitches. We'll be back in 3 weeks. Like, living our best life.
Like,
Yeah.
shout out to, like, my Uncle Dom, because he's, like, he has kids in his 40s, too.
Yeah, like, more props, too, if that's what
Yeah,
you want.
like-
But I said, we're sacrificing now. All our friends are out
Oh, I'll
living
tell you
their
right
best
now.
lives, partying.
If you're in your 40s, you do not want kids.
But that's what I'm saying is,
Those
like,
are called.
we sacrificed our youth
Youth
Yeah.
to
to
have...
be able to enjoy our older years.
Yeah.
But right now, not that we're struggling, right? But right now, we're living in this apartment. We are living paycheck to paycheck right now. But
Yeah.
by the time our kids are grown, we're going to be like, bitch, we got money in the bank. Let's go.
We're
Yeah.
going on a cruise.
Yeah,
see you
like,
in a
we're
week.
dipping
we're
on
going
a
to Vegas
cruise.
for the weekend.
We're going to Jamaica. Like, we're going to go do what we want. And...
Yeah.
Mark my words, knowing karma, our kids will be having kids by the time that freedom comes because I snatched my mama's freedom away. The second she
You're
started
like,
getting
"Here you go,
wild, I said,
Mom."
hey girl, you're going to be
Yeah.
a grandma again.
At least with,
And-
like, Mom, you waited until she was, like, 50.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom was what, 45? But to be fair, my brother beat me to it. My brother was 16 when he had his first baby.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I was not the one who made her a grandparent.
Yeah.
I'm just the one that made her an active grandparent, and
Yeah.
I took away any chance of freedom she had.
Same with Anthony. I mean, our brother had his twins,
Yeah.
but yeah, Dad didn't become an active grandparent until how old is Dad? Like in his like mid 60s, early 60s.
Dad's not even 60 yet.
Yes, he is.
No, he's
Oh wait,
not.
no, he's not actually. No, he's like in his late 50s.
I think he's
Tell
like
me
59.
why. I'm convinced one of you told me he was like 65 when we first started dating.
What?
And I was like, no fucking way.
He
And then
was
one
born in 65.
day, maybe that's what I heard.
Oh.
Okay. But yeah, I was convinced he was 65, and then you guys were talking about something. I was like, he is not 65. He'd
You
be
know.
15 years older than your mom. Like, I was real confused.
He's my dad's. Oh, okay. So mom's what? How old now?
50.
Okay, he's 11 years older than her.
No.
No, he's 8
Your
years
mom
older
was
than
born
Mom.
in 73.
No, Dad was 8
so
years
8
older
years,
than Mom.
yeah. 8 years is not as bad as 15. I really thought he was 15.
Wait, you're good at math. Do it real quick.
It is 8.
No, I'm saying how old is he? If she's fit. Oh, he's 58.
Yes, he'll
Duh.
be
Sorry.
60 in 2 years.
I just hit the pen not too long ago. Whoops.
Baby, you don't gotta blame it on the pen. We all know you're special.
Same.
You got a point.
It's okay. It just makes us unique.
Does that wrap it up for the...
Hot topics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to say something real quick. Shout out to the Dutch Bros girl that was at the window, gave us our drinks, because...
Yeah.
Usually
It's
I'm
not
like
a bad thing. It's not a
no,
bad
yeah,
thing.
it's not a bad thing. Quit looking at me like that. She knows I'm married. But anyway, shout out to you, because you're the first person that ever asked about our podcast outside of social media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
But yeah, she was like asking like, "Oh, what are you guys doing tonight?" Because like we had like 4
Brooks
drinks.
in my ear, she's like, podcast.
Yeah, she's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?" There's a lot of drinks for just the 2 of you, and Anthony's like, "Oh yeah, I got my girlfriend and my mother-in-law at home or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, you guys got any fun plans?" And then I was like, "Tell her we're recording a podcast."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna go home and have some dinner and record our podcast." And she's like, "Oh my god, you guys got a podcast? I fucking love podcasts." And then
I
like,
don't think she dropped the F-bomb.
well, the fuck was me, but like, oh my god, I love.
was me.
Yeah, sorry. I've been trying to like. I told Anthony I need to stop saying fuck so much, but it's my favorite curse word.
Yeah, I think it's mine too.
Your dad watching this like,
That's why
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't know. But she's like, "Oh, I love podcasts. Like, I need a new one to listen to. Like, what is it?" So then he's like telling her like Graham's Porch podcast, and then she like
I don't think she heard me right.
she's like geography something, and he's like, "No, Graham's Porch," and then like she wrote it down, and then we're leaving. He's like, "She didn't spell porch right, but that's okay. Hopefully she'll find it anyway."
So if you did find us,
Shout out
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
okay,
I'm so
shout
sorry.
out.
I didn't realize until we pulled off.
He was
and I
like, he's like, "I'm
wait,
not used to."
She spelled it wrong,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
and I like froze up because I don't.
We're not very like social
Yeah, like
people,
I'm not
so
social,
like
Oh, I'm very social. All I do all
Oh,
day
yeah,
long
you-
is talk. I could talk.
like he
to
didn't
anybody
really like
anywhere.
he didn't really like look at her in the eyes or anything because he's just
Yeah, I was
nervous.
just
like
like-
that's just how we are. And
Oh, not me.
that's why I said
plug
we need
you
to
guys
get.
at the dispo. Every time I go to the dispo, I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend and his sister are recording a podcast tonight. I've plugged you guys there so many times.
And that's what I
now.
told him when we were leaving. I was like, "That's how freaking like stuff works. Like just word of mouth. Like we need to get some business
That being
cards made.
said, I told Anthony you
Yeah.
guys need to get some merch made.
Yeah,
just
something.
for us to be walking around having it and just having your guys' logo or having something.
The QR code.
QR
That's
code
what
to
I
your
said, the
Instagram,
QR code.
anything, just to get your name out there.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, every freaking share, listen, like, yeah, just be like, "Hey, check these guys out."
Yeah.
Everything.
It helps.
I tell my customers, but I don't have a lot of young customers.
I think.
Hey, our
Mm,
analytics show like we got an older audience, which actually like surprised me. Like, yeah,
yeah,
there's
that
a
would be
big
people
percentage
like
of
our
like,
age.
yeah, it's
Like,
crazy.
Maybe I'll
40s.
start like mentioning it to more of my like older, which
Yeah.
it makes sense. They probably sit at their desks and listen to podcasts all day.
Yeah,
Does that make me old then? Because that's all I do at work is just listen to podcasts all day.
bro. When I'm in the shower, I don't listen to music. I listen to true crime murder podcasts, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be listening to this while I'm showering by myself, alone
Yeah.
in the house.
Got a
But
point there.
yeah, all I listen to is just podcasts and stuff. So we're gonna work on some business cards, cause
Yeah.
like yeah, if someone
Just to
asks,
hand out or
like
post
here,
them up.
this is where to find
we
I
us.
could put 'em up in your job.
We have a business board
Yeah.
up at the laundromat.
Oh yeah.
In the
there too, I could
laundromat,
do
there's
that.
like where you could pin
Oh.
your cards.
And that would be a
stuff
good
like
spot to put it too, because
Yeah, 'cause people are
do
that.
sitting
So
there
here we
listening.
have all the college students and stuff. I'm sure all of them listen to podcasts.
Yeah. So let's plug the socials really quick. You could follow us on Instagram at Graham's Porch. The link in our bio will take you to everywhere that you could listen to our podcast. subscribe to them all. Like I say, every listen, every share, view, like, comment, it helps.
Yeah.
We want you guys just to get more engaged. Leave comments. Let us know what we could improve on. What
You
Any
know,
kind of
what-
feedback. It's
yeah,
all
any
feedback.
constructive, what is that?
Criticism.
There you go. Yep.
Yep. Just do it respectfully if you got, something to criticize us for, but
You suck.
Yeah, you don't like. Why do people gotta come off so like?
Why
aggressive?
do you gotta be negative? If
Yeah,
you don't
like,
got
so
nothing
negative, bro,
nice
like-
to say, don't
not
say
that
it at
we've
all.
not that we've gotten that, but I've seen like other podcasts. Like I was listening to like one about Teen Mom, like Kaylin from Teen Mom does it, and she had a couple, and she like announced like her 5th son's birth today.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess it was like speculated or whatever, but she was like, yeah, someone emailed me like, keep your fucking legs closed, you whore, and all this stuff. And I'm like, damn, like why do people have to like take
Yeah,
time
like,
to like
dude,
be
What
it?
business is it?
yeah, like she takes care of her kids. Like what business is it of you who I sleep with or what I do with my body?
Yeah.
But
You ain't
yeah,
the ones
any
changing my kids' diaper, getting up with them, making them bottles,
for real,
buying
like,
them formula, like.
you don't have to procreate with every loser you meet. And I was just like, geez,
And
like
if I
mind your
wanna-
business. Mind your business. But yeah, just leave some comments, if there's a topic you want to hear about or anything, like just leave it in a comment, send it in an email at gramsporchpod@gmail.com, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Amen.
But as we said, this is part 2, so if you haven't listened to part 1, you should probably go do it because that's pretty good. But we brought Lex here to talk about her experience that she's had with like the paranormal or something. I've never heard the whole story, so I'm very excited. So you could
begin?
take it away.
Can we just say, God, please watch over us as I talk about this?
Yeah. So just the PSA, everything that you're about to hear is 100% true. It's not bullshit, not made up, not freaking just put together just for clicks or whatever. Like, this is stuff that really happened to people. Okay? All right.
So, I'll start off by introducing. His name was Chief Wanna Fuck With You, which came from later on, after all of the events we're going to talk about happened, we ended up finding out that this mobile home we lived in was built on old Indian burial grounds.
Oh, damn.
And whatever our mobile home was built on top of was very not happy and did not want us there.
Mm-hmm.
I was in 3rd grade, so that's like 7, 8 years old? Something like that.
Don't to me, I don't know.
Probably between like 7 to 9 is when it happened. We had just moved into this new mobile home, and instantly it was like things just kind of seemed off. You were just very uncomfortable. I remember like I was never a kid to really have like nightmares or bad dreams. Like I was usually really easy. Still to this day, I'm very easy. Like I lay down in bed, I'm going to sleep. Like there's no keeping me up. I'm not having dreams or anything. As soon as we started living here, it was like left and right. I was having dreams of like people getting murdered. I remember like one night sitting up and like looking at the wall, and I saw shadow figures, and it was like an adult shadow figure and 2 little kid shadow figures. And the adult, I remember seeing like the adult shadow figure picked up his hand and shot the 2 little kid figures and then shot itself. And I remember just like freaking out, telling my mom, like, Mom, like I saw this, Mom. Go back to sleep, Alexis. Like, we're in a new home. You're just scared, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward a few months after we lived there, my mom had my grandma, her mom, and I think a couple of her friends, like some big guys, come over and help clean out the underneath of the mobile home to get it ready for winter. And as they were pulling stuff out, they were pulling out drug paraphernalia, just like drugs on drugs. There was scales, there was money, there were drugs, like all the stuff that should not have been in this house was under this house. So clearly there was some shady shit going on. And my mom said she literally remembers it was like, it was all calm, and then the second they started getting rid of that stuff, you felt the shift in the air. It was just this ugly must came through the air, and it was just kind of like from there, everything just started going downhill. My brother at this time, this is when Paranormal Activity was like really big and like in theaters, like all over the charts. We all decided to sit down and watch that movie and do a Ouija board to try to contact my papa one night. And so we were using my papa's old like metal cross, and we had this Ouija board, and it's like going around. God only knows if my brother really was like moving it or if it was moving on its own. Whatever, things got like really scary. It was me and one of my best friends. Us girls got like so scared. I was like, no, I'm crying. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna go to bed. Well, the next morning, my brother like wakes up like screaming bloody murder. He comes running out in the living room, straight across his chest, just 3 claw marks going like shoulder to rib cage, just bloody scratch marks through his chest, on his back. My mom's like, "What the fuck happened?
Oh my
Like,
God.
what happened?" And I don't know, Mom. Like, I just woke up, I felt something cutting me, and I woke up, and there's these cuts and this whole thing. So we're like, okay, like, whatever, something's going on. My brother won't admit to my mom that he was doing a Ouija board. So my mom, now that I'm an adult, I'm like, my mom was probably like, what the hell's going on? You know? It's got to be scary. My mom's a bartender, so she's not home with us at night. So whatever happens at night, she's not there for.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying to go to sleep one night, and you heard someone going around to the windows, like, boom, 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 on the windows. Like, what the heck? So my brother locks me and my cousin in the room, and he's like, I'll be back. I'm going to go outside. And so he's going around the house. He's like, I didn't see anybody. We're fine. And all of us are scared. We're like, somebody's out there. Somebody's trying to get in. And so we all go and pile up in my mom's room, and you just hear on the windows just boom, boom, boom. No, we don't. Nobody's out there. Like, we call the cops. The cops come, walk around. Nobody's there. You guys are probably just some scared kids. You're fine. No one's there. Okay, whatever. I go to sleep one night, and so like I said, our little cousin was living with us. Well, she's older than me, but she's the middle between me and my brother, and then her. I go to sleep one night, and I picture her. I can see her across from me, like we're in like this all white room, and she's across from me, and the devil's standing there, like this black and red, like demonic bat looking, like. I was a kid. I'm sure that was like what my mind made me think the devil was, right? He was standing, and it was like they were within, not arm's reach, but within, like, she was right there, but I couldn't get to her, and she was with him, and I just kept saying, like, Hannah, don't go with him. Hannah, come back. Like, come back to me, Hannah, come back to me. And she turned around, and she's like, I'm going to go with my cousin. I'm going to go with my cousin. And she came back to me. And the next morning, like, I didn't tell her about this dream or anything. Again, I was this kid that didn't really dream. My mom would tell me that I was crazy, whatever. Okay, I didn't tell anybody about this dream. The next morning, my cousin comes in the room, and she's like, Lex, you saved me. You know, what? The devil tried to get me last night, and you told me I had to come back to you, and I came back. Like,
Holy
the devil had me.
I got it.
Yeah, and she's saying, she's like,
chilies.
the devil said that he had me, and you told me to come back, and I came back. I was like, oh my God. So I tell her about my dream, and I'm like, dude, like, what is going on? Whatever, we were at this point where it was like, if we tell our parents, we're going to be in trouble, because we're watching scary movies, we're making the stuff up in our heads, whatever. So flash forward, you know, a couple weeks goes by, crazy shit's happening, but we're not saying anything. My brother is giving our other little cousin a shower. They got in the shower together. Our little cousin was probably like 2 years old, barely big enough to stand up in the shower by himself, right? My brother's giving him a shower, and my brother's, he was always the man of the house, so he never showed fear. He was always like, I'm the big bad guy. I'm only 13 years old, but I'm the big bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
My brother comes running out of the bathroom, screaming, crocodile tears. What's wrong? What's wrong? Terry just told me he saw a man behind me. Like, what? I guess they were in the shower, and my little cousin's like, Eric, that man behind you said he's going to get you. That man behind you said he's going to get you. And what man are you talking? The man behind you. Okay, like, we're done, you know? So at that point, enough stuff had happened that my mom was like, all right, game over. So my mom told us, like, get rid of all the scary movies. We finally admitted to my mom about the Ouija board. She's like, you guys invited something here that should not be here. Like, we got to get rid of everything. So we get rid of everything. My mom has a friend who he can speak tongues, and then his mom can speak tongues. So she's like, okay, he lives in Florida, and so my mom calls him, and I don't know what it's called, but like, he was able to bring his soul here, and he had never been to our house before.
Astral projection.
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
that's
that.
what they call it, right?
So he lives in Florida. He'd never been to our house, mind you. We'd only lived in this house for a few months. So my mom, like, FaceTime and stuff like that wasn't around yet.
Yeah.
So my mom calls him and she's like, I need your help. And he said, okay. And so he sat there and he did whatever he had to do. And he said, okay, I'm here. Let me in. Open the door and welcome me in. So my mom lets him in, tells him, like, wherever you are, you're welcome in our house. So he comes in and he walks my mom through the house. He's like, okay, I'm right here. I look to the right. Oh, yeah, I see the picture. Oh, look at that picture on the wall. He tells my mom what picture's on the wall. Okay, I'm standing in Lex's room. Okay, like, this is what I see in Lex's room. Okay, I'm standing in this room. Oh my God, I'm not wanted in this room. Whatever's here does not want me in this room. I should not be in this room. Okay, I'm going to go into this room. Okay, I'm going to go into this room. And so he said, whatever's here latched onto something in this house. Like, we need to figure out what it's latched onto. So my mom finds the Paranormal Activity DVD. So she chucks it out the door and she's like, get out of my house, whatever you are. My mom said the door slammed shut and she literally heard this house laugh at her. And it was just like a big, like, ho, 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 ho. Like, as soon as my mom throws this movie out the window. So mind you, we live in this mobile home that it's the dead of summer. There's me, my brother, my 2 cousins, and then we have our friends that live in the mobile home park. Like, easily 12 kids that run in and out of this house every single day. Doors slamming, doors opening, closing. Nothing ever happened. We had this, like, not even exaggerating, like 12-pound cross that would stand on the wall or sit on the wall right next to the door. That door slammed and opened and shut all day long for months. Never happened. My mom went to open the door, the wind came, shut the door, and the cross flew across the wall. And so my mom's like, okay, like, something. What do we do now, you know? So my mom still obviously had to work through all of this. At this point, like, us kids weren't going to school because we weren't sleeping. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, we were all terrified, but what were we going to do? We can't just up and leave our house.
Yeah.
So my mom had her friend start coming over, and she would stay with us at night while my mom was at work. Well, one night, all of us kids went to bed, and it was, like, one of the very few nights that we slept in our own room. For the most part, we would all sleep in the same bed together because we were scared. Like, we all would go and pile in my mom's room, and just that was where we slept because we felt comfortable all being together. Mm-hmm. Well, my mom's friend was in the living room, and I remember we kept all the lights on. We never shut our lights off. Once this started happening, like, the lights stayed on at all times. And all of our doors stayed open. Like, we all needed to know where each other were, that each other were okay. Well, my mom's friend was sitting in the living room, and she had her headphones on, and she was, like, singing. She was trying to keep us all calm. She was like, all of you need to go to bed. She was just sitting in the living room singing. We had one of those, like, really old, hefty, like, metal vacuum cleaners. Mm-hmm. That vacuum cleaner tilted backwards and flew across the room, flew into the wall, like, shattered something on the wall. Like, all of this stuff happened. All of us go running into the living room. We're all crying, and my mom's friend calls her, and she's like, we're leaving. Like, we're not staying here. Whatever this is, like, we're getting the fuck out of here. Yeah. So my mom's like, okay, so we go and stay at her friend's house, and we're all there, like, there's how many of us piled up in this living room, like, all right, you sleep on that couch, you sleep on that couch, I'll make a bed on the floor. I remember at one point I made a bed in a laundry basket and, like, curled up in the laundry basket. Like, we didn't care what we had to do, but we were getting the fuck out of that house. So my mom's friend that can speak tongues, he's like, all right, I'm gonna send my mom there. So the mom couldn't, like, come physically, but they got on the phone, and she was walking through the house, and she was doing, like, the tongue prayer on the phone, on speakerphone. And my mom had, like, sage, and they're like, okay, go into the room, you need to do this, do this, do this. And she was like, yell at this house, tell this house, this is my home, you need to get out of here, whoever you are, like, I'm the owner of this home, this is my family, you know, you need to detach yourself. So, like, and she's telling my mom, like, get angry, and so she's talking tongues, she's going crazy. My mom said, like, there was not a breeze outside, but inside all the blinds are moving back and forth, the doors are opening and shutting, and there was, like, a 12-pack on the kitchen floor that went flying across the room, like, all of this stuff. Like, it's like a freaking windstorm inside of the building. Crazy. Yeah. And my mom said she lit an incense and she was trying to do a prayer with an incense. Well, you know when you light an incense, it like gets big and then it calms down.
Yeah.
She said the flame just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it wouldn't go out. She was blowing on it, shaking it. The flame wouldn't go out, and then all of a sudden it was just like poof, and it went out. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, like it feels so much better in here. Like whatever it is, it's gone." Okay, like it's not gone, honey, but like let's see, maybe it calmed down, whatever. So a couple days went and everything was okay, and then crazy shit started happening again. We were hearing banging on the walls. My brother was waking up with claw marks, like all this stuff starts happening again. So finally my mom's like, you know what, fuck this, we're moving, like we're done, I'm not living here no more. So my mom goes to the clubhouse, the office, whatever, and she tells them within like 2 hours, they call my mom. We have a new mobile home for you to move into. You can move in tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're like,
what do you guys know that you're not telling us? You know what I mean? Apparently that same thing happened to like the prior like 4 families that lived in that mobile home.
Like, why not
get rid of it?
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
Something.
Do something. Yeah.
Obviously,
so,
some shit's going on.
Or just
there.
be like, you know what?
There's
That's a
left.
freaking house that we're gonna have to call a loss on. We're not
What
gonna
do they
have
call
no.
that? Condemned.
Yeah.
You
Like
would think,
you
right?
Condemn a house.
So
right?
all these months later, finally, like we're moved out. Like we're getting back in school. Things are getting normal again. I'm talking with some of my friends that also live in the trailer park. And one of them's telling me, she's like, yeah, my mom told me. My mom, like, grew up in this trailer park. Like, it's, like, 3rd generation of this trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, my mom told me about this family that lived there. And the dad, like, went crazy and killed his twin daughters and then killed himself in that mobile home.
Ooh.
What did I dream about when we first moved in there?
Yeah.
The dad
The
shooting
shadow
the
piece.
kids.
And, like, I knew nothing about that story until months later when I was, like... And I didn't even, like, tell this girl about it. I just told her about stuff that happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Not about my dream, not about anything. And so, like, I had told my mom that, and my mom's just like, no, I don't want to talk about it. You know, like, we're not going to speak his name. We're not going to talk about it. Like, it took my mom a long time to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy stuff, like... Things that, like, there's even more stories that, like, happened in that house that it's just, like, it's almost like you could see my skin, like, it just,
Yeah.
there was this energy that, like, latched
Yeah.
onto you there that, as such a young kid to go through stuff like that, like, it takes away a kind of, like, innocence that you have.
Yeah.
And there was even, in the end, when we were staying at my mom's friend's house rather than at our house waiting to move, my mom had sent my cousin there. My cousin talked on the phone with my mom the whole drive. And the second she pulled up, she's like, okay, I'm going to go inside. She was going to go in and get, like, clothes for us or personal hygiene products, whatever we needed. She's like, okay, I'm going inside. As soon as she got out of the car, her phone shut off. Would not turn back on. Like, she literally could not get the phone to turn back on. She went inside, got all of our stuff that we needed, got back in her car. As soon as she popped her car in reverse, her car turned back on and resumed the call with my mom. Like, didn't
What
even
the
redial or anything, like, resumed the call. And so it was just all these things that kind of, like, it just made you, like, wonder, like, what the hell's going on there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, my mom brought in all these specials, like, and our thing was we were like, is it going to follow us to our new home? Mm-hmm. So, you know, moving into this new house that we went to, all of us were on edge. Like, the smallest thing could happen, and we were like, like, what was that? What, like, did the wind really just do that? Yeah, and luckily, thank God, like, bless everything, like, nothing ever did follow us. So the family that moved in after us, within a month, they had that place rented out. It was a single mom with 2 kids. She moved in driving the exact same car my mom drives.
What the hell?
It was almost like watching us relive. They didn't even make it a month in that house before they moved out. And it was just one of those things where it
I would
was
have been like, you might want to go get your money back.
yeah, and
For
it was just one of those things. Well, we ended up, like, we would tell people when they'd move in there, we'd go over there and tell them, like, just a heads up what's going on. Magically, like, 6 months into the new mobile home that they moved us into, our rent got stolen out of the drop box and they evicted us.
What the hell?
And it was
you were
almost
taking money away from them by warning these people, like, yo,
Yeah.
don't move into that house.
Yeah.
like, just seeing the way, like, you know how they say, like, the stars align? These were some really ugly stars, but seeing the way they aligned, it all made sense. Like, we were just another family. And like when you watch those Paranormal Activity movies, like that's how it goes, is it's the same pattern over and over.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. It was like a single parent with their 2 kids. The dad, supposedly, who knows if that story was actually true or not, but supposedly the dad was this dad that killed his kids and killed himself because he went crazy. And it was like every family after that was like a parent
Well, that's
with their kids.
Yeah.
One dad and 2 kids, and then your mom and 2 kids.
Exactly.
And then that
the next family was a
lady
mom
her
and 2
2
kids. And it was just like this never-ending, never-ending pattern. And like, we drove by there, I would say maybe like a year ago. Remember we drove you by there and showed you where it was.
I was going to go in.
It makes you wonder, like, is that pattern still going? Because from what I know, like, I had a friend that lived in that trailer park for many years after everything happened. And we would go by and every couple months it was a new family living there. And so it makes you really wonder, like, when are they going to, like you say, condemn this building? When are they finally going to say, okay, enough's enough? Like, clearly something evil is going on inside this house. And that's when we did a lot of research, and it was in old Indian burial grounds. But at the same time, I'm like, do you think that was an old chief? Or do you think that it really was this ugly spirit, that something ugly happened to a family and they were stuck there? Like, it really makes you wonder, like...
Yeah.
Will we ever know? Probably not.
No.
But, you know, we're all going to come up with these different ideas of what might have happened. But at the end of the day, whatever it wasn't pretty. And it was not good. And I would never say, like, it never tried to hurt us, aside from my brother. And I think it was because I think my brother was, like, egging it on by using his Ouija board. And my brother would
Or they could have saw him as, like, being a man.
Because he was the man of the house. Yeah, like... And that, I think, like, that's where a lot of, like, my brother, I think, like, he's very protective of his kids, and I think that's where he gets a lot of it from, is I think he felt so helpless because he was supposed to be the man of the house. Should he have been? No, but he was supposed to be, and
13
he
years
couldn't even,
old.
but he felt, like, helpless, like, he couldn't even protect us because he himself was the one being hurt. Like, there was just so many things that happened that, like, when you talk about, like, trauma as a kid, like, I wouldn't even call that trauma. I just think it was kind of like a snatching of innocence. Like, you're supposed to not be, you know...
Scared like that.
Scared of these... Yeah, these things are supposed to happen in movies and be done when you turn a movie off.
That shit ain't supposed to follow you in real life.
Yeah, and so, like, I think, like, even to this day, like, I'll joke around and be like, oh, Chief wanna fuck with these here, but I think it's low-key, like, an inner fear, like, oh my god, like, what if something like this does happen again? How are you supposed to fight and protect your family from something you can't even see or understand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These spirits and things are capable of things that we can't even see, things that we can't even process and understand. And I think that's where, like, a fear comes from, is, like, how do you protect your family and things like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely, like, it's crazy. And I feel like everybody in some way has some type of paranormal encounter at some point, whether it's...
Something that they can't explain.
And then,
whether it's terrifying,
like,
or exciting or happy or mad, like...
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like... People don't think, like, oh, like, spirits are real, or, like, when you die and that's it. Like, there's some people that don't believe that. They believe in, like, reincarnation. Like, you know, with us being, like, you know, have Native American blood in us, like, they believe, like, you evolve into something else after you die and stuff. And it's, like, there could be spirits, like, all around. It's just, like...
I also think, like, I personally think that sometimes I use my belief of spirits as a coping mechanism. In forms of, like, when you lose someone, being like, oh, like, give me a sign, and then looking for that sign, like, oh, you know, if you're really here with me, I want to find 3 dimes today. And then I'm at work and I find 5 dimes, and I'm like, oh my god, you're with me. But was that really just a coincidence, or was that really, you know, a sign from the other side? And I think, in a way, like, I can make myself, like, I clearly have an understanding that there is a higher up, or there is some type of afterlife spirit, whether it's good or bad, right? Yeah. So I take that experience and I turn it into a coping mechanism of, I know that this does exist, I'm going to use it to my advantage rather than be fearful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
For me, I, like... You know, we've lost our grandma and, like, cousins and, like, aunts and stuff. Like, I don't know, I've never, like, asked, like, show me that you're here, because I feel like sometimes, like, if you ask for that, like,
That's
something negative,
something.
like, yeah, could come in its place and, like,
Yeah.
you know, start fucking around with you, because
Making
you're
you
like,
think you're seeing
yeah.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's where I think like it's kind of like a
I think I would do that at work, cause I didn't get into it on the last episode, but like I've experienced some stuff at my job,
yeah.
like in the old warehouse.
Seeing things.
Should I get into it?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, it won't take long, quick, but you know, like,
No story by you is quick, by the way.
jeez, my last one was, oh, not that one. I'm saying on the last episode.
Okay, go ahead.
I had said that, you know, Dad would get to work 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
Did I talk about this in the last one?
I cut it out. Because,
Oh.
like, you never even finished the story because one of the kids woke up.
Oh. But yeah, so, like, my dad would get to work at, like, by 4 o'clock in the morning, like, 2.5 hours before you were supposed to be there, you know? So I didn't have to clock in until, like, 6:30.
Mm.
But we'd get there at 4, so I'm like, well, what do I do? So I would go in and I'd go sleep. And then he would be out in the warehouse doing his stuff, getting his stuff done, whatever. And he'd just leave me in the office, and that's where I'd sleep until 6 o'clock. And then I'd clock in, you know, get out there and start doing my stuff. But I remember one day, he was out in the warehouse, and I had fallen asleep. And the way, like, my desk where I sat, like, was facing the wall, like, you would have to come around, like, this L shape to get to my desk from entering the room. But, like, I would face away from the door, like, I would, you know, have my head on the desk, and I'd face away. It was just, like, the most comfortable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, so I remember I'm laying there, and I heard, like, the door to the office open a little bit, and then I remember hearing, like boots, like, you know, like,
They have, like, a distinctive
in the office,
sound.
it was concrete floor, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, a legit office. It was just another room where we put desks and stuff like that. So, like, you would, you know, you could hear your footsteps. So I, like, heard, like, boots, like, walking up towards me, and, like, I'm laying there, and I'm like, my dad, like, he doesn't sit right next to me. Like, his desk was a little bit away. But, like, the boots walked up, like, right to where I was at, like, right behind me. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, and then, like, I kind of peek over, and, like, out of, like, my peripheral, I see, like a figure, like a shadow. And then I remember just lifting my head, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was behind me.
Your heart's all boom, boom.
Yeah, and then, like, not even, like, maybe 10 seconds later, my dad walks in the office, and I just had, like, this look. And he's like, what? And I'm like, Dad, there was somebody here. Like, there was somebody that walked in, and they were behind me. Like, I was freaked out. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then I told him the story, like, you know, I heard these boot steps walking up, and I thought it was you, so I didn't, like, pay attention to it. And then, like, I just seen, like, out of the corner of my eye, like, a shadow, like, a figure standing behind me. And when I looked back, yeah, like, you weren't there, nobody was there. And he's like, I knew it. I freaking knew this place was, something was going on here.
Oh, God.
Because, like, he would hear, and I'd hear sometimes, too, like, the slabs in the warehouse. Like, when you push on it, you have to push on them to, like, lean them over.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you would hear it.
Like something pushing on the
yeah,
slab.
just like, I'm like, dude, those are fucking heavy ass things. Like, you need a forklift to move them.
Yeah.
But, like, you could just hear them, like, lean over and, like, dunk.
Well, that was somebody else's warehouse once upon a time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
our
like,
auntie-
something
Their
was
work's
going
getting
on
done.
there.
Our auntie worked in that warehouse, like, before his company
Before
bought
company
it.
bought it.
Oh.
It used to be a tire company, and, like, my dad would be like, hey, like, did anything ever happen to you, like, when you worked in that building? And she's like, yeah, that place is haunted. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in that place. She's like, but yeah, I've had some experiences in that building and stuff. Like, it's haunted.
And like we'd be working in one of the aisles, and like I just out of the corner of my eye, it was always out of the corner. I'd see like somebody standing there, like walk by, and I'm like, go look, and nobody's there. So I'm like, finally, I'm just like so used to it. I'm like, oh, why don't you show yourself? Like, you know, like
You get mad.
come on, yeah. Like I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
come on. And I would freak myself out though, because every time I'd say that, I'd get chills.
You get all worked up
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
But good thing you don't have to be in that fucking warehouse like that no more.
Even our new one though, I feel like sometimes I still like see stuff out the corner of my eye.
Bro, now that you brought up the new warehouse,
Yeah.
remember when we were leaving that one day?
Oh my.
I remember you guys telling me about that.
That was fucking crazy. So this is when me and Anthony worked together, and like our warehouse team was small. Like it's just me and Anthony and 2 other guys and like our boss.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was never in the fucking warehouse. He's in his office. So it's just like the 4 of us. And we're like grabbing our stuff. This is before Ezzy was born.
Mm-hmm.
So like our boss had given you some like newborn stuff for Ezzy, and we're like talking. It was a Friday because we're like, oh, let's, you know, payday, like let's go, let's get out of here or whatever. And like we're all standing at the front of the warehouse talking, and like in the back is where you got the fucking like weird vibes, like where our carpet would be, you know. It's just like you'd go back there. Like I fucking hated being back there by myself. Like I just always got a weird feeling back there. But like
somebody's like always behind you.
Yeah, or like just watching you. And like we're talking and stuff, and like all of a sudden like we just see the lights go out in the back, and we're like, what the fuck? And they're like, what? And they're like, me and Anthony are like, didn't you just see those lights come off? Like the lights, like you, and they weren't easy to like get to. Like you had to like squeeze yourself in between, like
to get to the switch.
Yeah, just to even get to the switch. And
I went back there and I was like, what the hell? And I went and checked the switch. It was flipped down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Something
and we're like,
said,
yeah,
go home.
For real, like. It was weird because, like, I think they were, like, talking about...
I think we were talking
about something about, like, yeah, just, like...
Like paranormal? Like,
yeah.
Getting the
like, one of the guys was like, oh, I hate being back there or whatever, and, like...
They said,
you forgot... Yeah. I forgot something or you forgot something in the office, and I remember, like, we were walking out of the office, and then, like, all of a sudden, like, we just see, like, the freaking whole back side of the warehouse just turn black, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, I wish we could have like looked at the freaking camera footage to like see.
We used to be able to do that, and they took away our rights to it.
My uncle, well, I call him my uncle, but he died before I was even born. But my mom's brother, he was murdered, and he picked out what he wore for his funeral. So he was murdered in California, and they were flying his body home. And I don't know the exact times, but let's say he was landing at like 3 p.m. My mom said that the airport called to say like, hey, his body just landed. And she said within like seconds of that phone call, they heard a flush in the bathroom. And they went in there, and my uncle would always put his red marbles in the toilet. And there was 2 red marbles floating in the toilet. And they were like, what the hell? Then they said all of his stuff had been shipped from California, whatever his belongings, and his favorite cowboy boots were in the bottom, very, very, very bottom of one of the boxes. And my mom walked into her room, and the box was sitting in there with the cowboy boots out, sitting right on top with a pair of pants, and that's what he wore for his funeral. But they said it was within minutes of them getting the phone call saying his body had landed in Colorado that they found the cigarette butts in the toilet and his boots unpacked, sitting out, waiting for him.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so they were like, all right, well, that's what you'll be buried in. Like,
we got chunks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, I feel like the unknown is honestly one of the coolest things you could think about at the same time.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like, there's a sense of like, it's scary, but then it's also like...
kind of comforting to know that there is something else.
Ouch.
To me, it is.
To me, it's like intriguing. Like,
yeah, like it's interesting, but it also kind of gives me hope. Like, there is something beyond this.
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to be stuck here. I'll tell you that.
I want to be.
I'm not trying to be stuck in a fucking apartment the rest of eternity.
I think you'll be able to free roam.
I hope.
Like Patrick Swayze.
As long as I
I
have
don't
a
even
bed.
want to be like. I don't want to come back as a ghost. Can you pick? Like, are you able to pick? You
I
think?
don't know. I haven't talked to Jesus lately.
But I don't necessarily think you have to be a ghost. I feel like there's like you have a life after life.
Oh, I'd rather have a life in heaven.
What does
Same.
life in heaven look like?
I don't know. Read the Bible.
Period.
Our grandma would tell like our dad and his siblings like, in heaven, there's rivers of pop and mountains of ice cream, like to like make heaven just like sound great to them as kids
Yeah.
and stuff. So like that's what my dad says like now, like, what do you think heaven looks like? And he's like, I don't know, rivers of pop and mountains of ice cream. And he's like, that's what my mom like would like make heaven like
Everything
look
you
like.
could ever
yeah,
imagine.
like
Yeah.
basically
Everything you
like
could
yeah,
ever dream.
beyond your wildest dreams type of thing.
Whenever I think about heaven, all I can hear in my head is, can only imagine.
I was just gonna say that because, like, really, like, we don't know what it looks like, you know?
And we
Yeah.
won't, and we'll never be able to talk about it.
Dang, that was deep.
It's not like
Yeah.
we can go experience it and come back and be like, so, what was
Actually-
your experience of
actually-
heaven?
I want to like listen to more, but like I've heard a couple of like people's testimonies that they died and went to heaven and then they came back, you know?
Hmm.
But
I don't want to know what it's like to die and go to heaven and come back.
yeah,
I'd
if
rather
I'm-
live
'cause,
my
like,
time
what if
here
it's
and
so
when my
great
time's-
and I'd just be like, why do I have to come back
Yeah,
to like
for real.
paying bills and struggling when I had everything I wanted?
if you're just gonna
I'm not
just
gonna
keep it-
lie, like death is my worst fear. I want to be here. with
Yeah,
my
I don't want
kids.
to talk about death
Yeah.
right now.
Let's not get into that one. That is a whole
But
nother episode.
You brought up your uncle, and my uncle called me this week. Shout out to Uncle Diggler. They're the owner of Colorado Treks. My uncle Dominic.
Oh.
He called and he's like,
You
you
know
could.
who?
Yeah, we call him Diggler. I don't know why, or we just call him Uncle Fun because he was like the fun uncle that would like
Take you guys.
take us places. But he's like, you could share this on your podcast if you want. So this was for Uncle Dominic, but he was saying like he moved into this like farmhouse type of place or something like that with his ex baby mama
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and our stepdad and our uncle like helped him move everything in. And he says like our Uncle Daniel, like he's like, what's that word, like he could like sense spirits, like he's sensitive to like that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he like told my uncle like after like they went through the house, like, you know, putting the boxes in the rooms and stuff. I guess he like called him a couple days after and he's like, man, I had a weird fucking dream about that house you're living in. And he's like, but I guess he didn't really like want to go into detail about it. He's just like, I had a weird dream about your place. And he's like, you know, it started off like hearing stuff or like kind of like seeing stuff out of the corner of your eye, but you know, like how you said, like it's a new place. It could just be like, you know, your mind playing tricks on you and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, so I didn't really pay it much mind or anything. And then his like baby mama called him one night when he was like with the guys and was like, you need to get home now. And he's like, what? And she's like, get home now. So he like left wherever he was and like raced home. And he's like, what happened? And she's like, I was doing dishes and like I heard someone in my ear come up and say, hey. And she's like, you know, I went to like elbow you, like, oh, you fucking scared me or whatever. And she's like, I turned
Dude,
around
like-
and like,
Oh yeah, dude, look at my
yeah.
Yeah.
She like turned around and like saw that there was no one there. She's like, you know, I looked in the driveway, your car's not there, and I knew you like drove to wherever you are. She's like, so then I called you and stuff, and he's like, oh, he's like, I didn't like want to believe that she saw something or heard something, like, oh, you know, maybe you're just tired or whatever. She's like, no, like I heard someone say hey in my ear. I thought it was you. And so he's like, oh, that's weird. Like, I don't know. It happened like a couple days after or whatever, but he said he was like laying on the couch at night watching ESPN, and he like saw a figure in the kitchen, like I guess like walk from like the kitchen to like the living room, and he's like, what the fuck? Like opened his eyes, like, you know, rubbed his eyes, like maybe I fell asleep or something, and he's like, no, it was just like a big like black mass just like walking in his kitchen and stuff. And he's like, when I would go to bed, he's like, I always saw like this he kind of like described it like as venom, like just this big, just like black yeah black shadow that would like stand in like the doorway of their room and stuff. He's like, I couldn't even like go to sleep, like it was hard for me to sleep. And he's like, I couldn't even like sleep like a certain way, like he had to sleep with like his head like faced away from the door and stuff. He's like, because I always felt like we were being watched at night. And like he's like, what the hell is going on? And Uncle Daniel called him, and he's like, yeah, you need to get out of that house. Like, remember when I told you like I had a bad feeling about it? Like, I had another dream, and I think you guys need to leave and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, things would just happen all the time. Like, there was a certain room that he used as like his workout room. He's like, I hated being in that freaking room at night. Like, or even like during the day, he's like, I would just try to like go get a quick workout in and get out, because I just didn't like being in that room. And
like weird
like evil. He's like a evil feeling, like just being in it. And he's like, yeah, like we need to get out of this place, because things are starting to like get weird. And but I'm like, yeah, like like your house is supposed to be like your safe haven, like where
you
feel the most comfortable home.
And fear going to sleep, fear
you
being
should
comfortable.
to like never fear like being alone, or to even close your eyes in your own home. Like, hell no.
No, thank you.
I feel like there's more that I forgot. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. So that was like the gist of it.
You should learn
like,
how to use those. You know how they type in court.
Yeah, those phonographs. But that house is like actually not too far from like where I live now.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to go to a haunted place once, like a real haunted place one time.
No, thank you. I always used to like that, like want to go.
Yeah, the only
ghost
thing I'm like
hunting is
nervous about is getting
bringing shit home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like I'll go there to experience it. You scare me all you want while I'm there, but leave me alone there. I'll leave you as soon as I leave.
What's that saying? Been there, done that. Don't want to go back. No, thank you.
I have another quick experience. When we mentioned like our great grandma, our grandma Flora, rest in peace, and our nana Margaret lived right next door to each other. Like they shared like a yard and stuff. Like that was our childhood, just going from Grams to Nana's and stuff. And
my little fat ass trying to hop over the fence in between their yards.
That's the first place I ever learned how to hop a fence, was going in between Grams and Nana's yards. But their houses were old. They were like built in the 1800s and stuff. And so I'm like, you know that there's some shit in those houses.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
easily.
And I don't even know if like we were home from school that day, or like with our Nana's house, we'd hide a butter knife in her garden bed and like cover it with dirt, and then we'd like, if we wanted to just go to her house while she was at work, we'd be like, go and uncover the freaking butter knife with the dirt and like pop the, what the fuck is that? The screen door. We'd pop the screen door open with the butter knife and then go and cover the butter knife again. And that's how we'd get in her house, because she wouldn't lock like her like front security door, it would just be like just the screen door and that's it. I mean, even though it wasn't a flimsy little screen door, like it was wrought iron and like heavy duty and stuff, but we could like pop the lock with the butter knife. So
Well, if some kids could do it, imagine who else could have.
yeah, and when we would like
different back then.
undo like unbury the knife, we'd always like look around and like make sure that no one was like walking down the alley or through the path or anything like that. But I think it was like when we were getting out of school.
You were safe trespassers.
Yeah. I mean, she knew that we did it because she'd be like, make sure you hide that knife. But it was like me and my cousin Audrey, and she's in the bathroom and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and like her house it was fucking weird, like a big ass house, and it's a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
It was like her house was like a good size, but it was just a 2-bedroom house. So like my back was facing like the staircase to go upstairs to the 2 bedrooms, and Audrey's in the bathroom, and I don't know if I'm like looking at my phone, because even as a kid, like I had a phone because I walked to and from school by myself, so I had to be able to.
It's because she was spoiled.
That too,
Whatever.
but it was basically,
You're
just for
jealous.
safety reasons, to make sure that I had a way to call mom and dad, because I would walk to and from school. I was in middle school at this point. And, so I don't know if I was, like, doing homework or just looking at my phone or whatever. Audrey's in the bathroom, and I hear, in my fucking ear, bro. And if you know me, I do not like shit, like, in my ear. Like, when I go to sleep, I cover my right ear with the sheet, because, like, I just get the fucking heaves, bro. I hate things in my ear like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like I heard it was a little fucking girl's voice humming in my ear, and I like dropped my phone and I fucking booked it to the bathroom, and Audrey's using the bathroom, and I burst through the door. I'm like, oh my god, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I just heard a little girl fucking hum in my ear, bro. And she's like, whatever. I'm like, dude, like no, like my hands were shaking, like my fucking arm hair were on like straight up, like every hair in my body like fucking just stood on end. And she's like, you're lying. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, why would I be in here? You're taking a shit and I'm in here with you right now. Like, no.
No.
So like she does like cleans up or whatever, and we go and look. I'm like, maybe one of the other kids is home. But then I'm like, no, because it's only just us. And so we go look upstairs in Nana's room, look under her bed, in her closet, nothing. Look in the other room, and there's nothing there. And we're like, what the fuck? So, like, our little cousins would always, like, play upstairs in, like, the guest bedroom, I guess. It used to be, like, our bedroom for a minute when we, like, mom divorced dad, and like we lived with Nana for a little bit, but like it was like the playroom for the kids upstairs. And our little cousins would always say like, oh, I can't wait to play with my little friend. And we're like, what?
Yeah, Danny and Lex would say that.
Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go play with our little
that
friend.
That gave me chills.
Yeah.
Gross.
And my Nana would be like, what little friend? And our cousin Lexi would be like, the little girl that lives upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what little girl? Like, my friend. She lives upstairs in the closet. And
gross. I'm gonna cry right now.
Yeah, it was
so bad.
So like when I heard that like little voice, like that replayed in my head, like, oh my god, like our little cousins would always say like they had a little girlfriend that played upstairs with them, and she lived in the closet. And I remember living there too, and I fucking hated going to bed because I would always just feel like an eerie feeling, like when you look in the closet, like something's gonna fucking pop out at you or something. Like, there's more shit that happened in that house, like Nana's house. And like I say, it's an old 1800s house. Like, they used to play in the fucking like dirt basement, and there's tunnels in there and shit. Like,
going in their fucking basements. My grandma had a creepy ass basement.
Nana's was worse. Nana's was worse because
I think I've
it was
only been in there once because
like,
it was fucking scary.
Like dirt floors and just concrete and like just one fucking light bulb at the bottom of the stairs. Like was
No,
scary as fuck. I hated being in that basement.
Oh, I remember it.
Like,
Because she had the doorway, right? And then they ended up covering it up, right?
yeah, when they renovated the house, they
Yeah.
like covered the staircase up like
So it was
from
just like
upstairs.
a pantry or something like
So
that.
when she renovated it, you'd have to go like outside the house and go down the stairs to like get to the
Get
basement from there. But when she was like living there the first time, yeah, you just open the door and you just see the fucking like
Dude, it was just dark.
something straight up out of a horror movie, like for real, like no joke, like
those creepy ass basements.
yeah. But that is gonna do it for this episode and for this series. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Alexis, for coming on again.
Thanks for hearing my
Thank you
lovely
for sacrificing
stories.
your sleep. I know we're about 4 hours past your bedtime.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay, I'll make an exception. Once in a while.
For us.
For us.
Yeah.
Well, no, not us. You guys. Amen.
We're gonna have you on again. I don't know. Maybe like December-ish. We'll do our top 5
really?
Christmas movies and stuff.
Oh, period.
Oh,
And we'll bring
I'm
you back
so
for
down
that.
Wait. I want to be on a Thanksgiving episode.
Oh yeah, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
We're gonna celebrate Family Feasting Day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Showickham.
Yeah, follow us on our Instagram at Graham's Porch. Click on the link in our bio, and that takes you to wherever you can listen to this podcast and subscribe. Turn on your notifications for it, and engage with every episode, because it means a lot to us.
Yeah, I think now we're gonna work on, well, not like right this second, but at some point we're gonna work on getting more like publicity.
Advertising
Yeah,
out there.
I'm trying to hustle it as best as I know how at this moment, but like I say, word of mouth really fucking helps. So
Yeah.
if you could find it in your heart
Like
to
I said,
just
we're
share
trying
it,
to get it done without like.
the help of our huge family, like
Yeah.
just
doing it on your own.
yeah.
Period. We love it.
So yeah, just follow us on everything that you can. Spread the word about us. But yeah, everything, every bit helps, and it would mean a lot to us. But stay safe out there. The world is in a real fucking crisis right now, and all we need is love and peace. So, just be vigilant out there. Just be safe. That's all I can say.
Hold your loved ones close, bro.
Seriously.
That's all I gotta say. That's my
Period.
message. Is like,
Do
Drop
not
all your
take any
bullshit.
minute for granted.
yeah, like just drop all your bullshit, because you never know what the fuck is gonna happen. Like.
You hear that? Drop all your bullshit.
Drop it. Like it's hot.
Yes. No, I agree with that, Yeah, hold your loved ones close, and
Take it day by day.
yeah,
That's all you can do.
Yep.
put all the bullshit aside and just live life, be happy.
You never
Don't
know.
worry.
You never know what's going on.
For real. That's gonna do it for this episode. We will catch you on the one next week. Have a good week, you all. Until next time,
Till
sleep
next
with the
time.
angels.